Tonight, Giants-Patriots, rematch of Super Bowls 42 and 46 in the preseason. Giants are expected to have their starters play, even if it's just one series. No starters for the Patriots expected at all. Who and what, Chris, are you watching for in this one as your favorite team plays your former employer?
Yeah, well, listen, I like both of these teams. You know that. I do. But, yeah, the Giants, I mean, just life under Brian Daboll. I'm excited. I think that's why they're playing the starters. Hey, we're going to get used to the way I do things, pregame, all that. You know, hey, Daniel Jones, I want you to hear my voice in your ear a little bit, how we call plays and how the game's managed that way. But, you know, as always in this, I want to see Daniel Jones and the offense and just what it looks like. Maybe he looks more comfortable. What tricks do they got in the offense? And then I think after that, obvious here. And go into the rookies. The rookies that the Giants drafted, 2 in the top 10. Kayvon Thibodeau. A guy that, I wasn't sure how great he's going to be. I know he's opened some eyes in Giants training camp, and I certainly hope I'm wrong. But, yeah, him, Evan Neal, the Giants offensive line that has been the worst in football the last few years. So I think that's the thing I'm looking for more than anything, on the Giants side of the ball. And, what about you? Anything jump out to you in this one?
Well, look, I know there's a balance between getting your guys ready and not getting them injured. Nathaniel Hackett was talking about that yesterday, as it relates to the reality that we probably won't see Russell Wilson on Saturday night against the Cowboys. Your main priority is keeping your key players healthy, but Daniel Jones, learning the Brian Daboll offense in a contract year, how do you strike that balance of how much you want to see him throughout the preseason? If it's just a series on Thursday night, what difference does it make? Like Aaron Rodgers said, and we played that sound yesterday, what does that really do? How does that help Daniel Jones better prepare himself to have a big season in this new offense? And every team's got to strike that balance differently, and you are consciously putting your guys at risk for injury, especially quarterbacks who aren't touched at all in practice, ideally, but are definitely in position to get touched in a preseason game. Who can forget when Eli Manning against the Jets that one time got his face busted open in a preseason game?
Yeah. I mean, you're right. There's a fine balance. I'm a little bit old school in the, hey, we only got so many chances to go out there and really hit and tackle and do that stuff, so let's do that. That's where I find it a little curious with the Patriots. I do. I'm excited to see some of their young guys too. Tyquan Thornton, the second-round wide receiver, can fly, but, I don't think many people in football thought he was worth a second-round pick. They got a running back out of South Dakota State, Pierre Strong, who also can fly. I want to see him, but and again, maybe correct me I'm wrong, and maybe I got to look this up a little bit more. But the Patriots have been one of those teams that, even in the first preseason game, a lot of their starters play, in years past. And I don't know. I wonder if there's something to the offense. The new shakedown of the coaching on the offensive side of the ball is not quite, all running smoothly right yet. And maybe Bill Belichick doesn't want to put that out there and, put more fuel on the fire here with that one. It's just curious to me. I'm just throwing it out there for talk here.
It's just weird that there's been all of this optimism and hype for Mac Jones when you consider the transition the offense is going through. And something that occurred to me,
and it's gotten a little negative lately. If you listen up there, where the offense seems to be struggling. And they think Mac Jones is kind of taking a step back the last 10 days. Now, again, I know this is media, but I've also heard people like Willie McGinnis say it on the NFL Network. Willie ain't, he ain't been there the whole time. He's talking to somebody in New England. So that's where, that's where I kind of connect dots, as we talked about earlier in the show.
Let me spin this forward then, because I'm looking at the depth chart. Mac Jones, Brian Hoyer, and rookie Bailey Zappa. Jimmy Garoppolo gets cut September 10 by the 49ers, and he becomes a free agent, and no one is rushing to make him a starter. Could you see Bill Belichick bringing him back as a backup to Mac Jones and just kind of a just in case?
I don't see it. We've discussed this before. I think they're a team that doesn't want to deal with that. They don't want that drama. They don't want, as we talked about with Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield, any dividing in the locker room. They believe in, hey, the head coach is the man. The quarterback is the commander of the offense, and we're going to get all the troops to buy into the commander.
That's why they cut Cam Newton last year.
Exactly. So that's where I find I don't think that'll happen, Mike.
if you can get him for nothing, and if you have any concerns whatsoever about Mac Jones, and he knows the offense, and you're in this weird transition with Joe Judge and Matt Patricia in these key roles on the offensive side of the ball, it's just a weird time. If it was any other coach doing
we'd all be going, what the hell?
We'd be saying, that guy needs to be fired, or at a minimum, drug tested. But Bill Belichick, 6 rings goes a long way to getting you some benefit of the doubt.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.